Apparently, Disguised Toast. Yeah, we're gonna check out like the life of Disguised Toast. So let's go.
Alright guys,
Check
I'm
out his
proud
life.
to announce our newest offline TV house member,
I
Disguised
still remember
Toast.
that.
Was Crip not available?
Isn't he like a Hearthstone streamer? Wait, what's Hearthstone?
Honestly, I think they really like me.
He went to a tournament in a toast mask with a pair of sunglasses. He won the whole thing. He's on camera all the time, and he's doing expressive stuff. Like, he pulls off this move and he does the John Cena "you can't see me" thing, and he's just this guy in a toast mask.
Just gotta do it. No going back. Oh my god. I've been wearing that thing for way too long.
If Toast wins, he's the biggest brain gamer I've ever seen.
I'm so sorry, Scissors! I'm so sorry!
Photoshop
I'm so sorry!
I don't regret signing with Facebook at all. I think at the time it was still the right choice, but I wish I was on Twitch because it was the biggest game in the world and I was the biggest content creator for it, streaming wise.
Holding on to Cat! Holding on from behind that aftershock, and now Scuba in a 1v1. Does he have any idea that there's a man back? Yes! Has no idea! Disguised Toast has made it to Challengers!
Oh, you guys.
The redemption arc of Steel has only
so
just begun.
Yep. Okay, so they
Figuring out what you want to do
Kraken
in
Spice
life is
from-
difficult. But even if you manage that, figuring out how to do it is even harder. Pretty early on, Jeremy Wang, today known as Disguised Toast, knew that he wanted to be an entertainer.
And I eventually became known as the guy who does magic in my high school. And it was essentially, it gave me the taste for performance.
Toast had made another discovery too. In his spare time, he had programmed a flash game that he'd sold for $1,000, and content creators on YouTube were reacting to it.
It doesn't work! It doesn't work! It's just broken! This is a flawed game! Screw you, Jeremy, for creating a stupid game!
Toast realized he had a knack for getting people's attention, and the upcoming release of Hearthstone gave him the perfect chance to turn that skill into a career. Hearthstone was growing in popularity on Twitch and YouTube, and through it, Toast saw the chance to become a streamer. And he named his channel after a common misinterpretation of a voice line from the SI7 agent card.
Ha, this guy's toast.
Disguised Toast had a unique approach to content
Sounds like
creation in that he was totally anonymous. But that presented a problem when he finally wanted to break into competitive
I
Hearthstone.
see.
I never spoke in any of my videos, nor did I make any appearances. And since my logo was infinitely more recognizable than me, I decided to make a cardboard cutout of it.
Until he went to the Fireside Gathering at WCS Toronto 2015, Toast content wasn't based around his personality. But suddenly, it seemed like the most interesting part about Disguised Toast to a lot of people was getting to know the man behind the mask.
He went to a tournament in a toast mask with a pair of sunglasses. He won the whole thing, but like, and he did this montage. He's on camera all the time, and he's doing expressive stuff. Like, he pulls off this move and he does the John Cena "you can't see me" thing, and he's just this guy in a toast mask. And Kriparian's making a bunch of jokes about it. It's the best thing in the universe.
Toast also
I
began
agree.
streaming on his own, wearing the Toast mask the entire time. It was both a bit surreal and weirdly entertaining.
No, I can't. Oh, what? No! No!
But when you're going out of your way to hide your identity, it's hard to stay perfect. And eventually, Toast slipped up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys just saw my face. Ah! No!
So what happened then after Toast's accidental face reveal?
Yeah, well, I think the context is important with this. You know, streaming's not what it is today. You don't have variety streamers that can hold an audience no matter what game they're playing, at the time, you got all these people who have their brand, their gimmick, their shtick, right? You're either really good at a game, or you're funny, or in Toast's case, you wear a giant Toast mask on your face, right? So
True.
For the most part, his audience left him alone. They let him do his thing. They didn't try to figure out who he was in real life. But I guess there was like one troll that just wouldn't give it up. And as a result, Toast decided to finally ditch the mask.
So it must have been quite a big deal to abandon all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think from the outside looking in, it seems kind of silly, right? But when you build your entire identity online around looking like a piece of toast, there is some risk associated with being the guy with the Toast mask and then taking it off and then becoming just kind of boring. So when you take that into account, yeah, I mean, it's a big risk.
After the slip-up, Toast streamed without his mask on purpose for the very first time in October 2016. And far from ruining his career, it actually helped him.
Which is surprising.
No going back. Oh my god. I've been wearing that thing for way too long.
Not only did it give his fans the chance to get to know him better personally, but his content only became funnier.
Do it, Yog. Do it.
Are you kidding me? How you get traded if you just hacks with taunt? Ah, come on! Ah, what? That's a dragon! What are you doing?
As Toast's popularity grew, his at times memey approach to Hearthstone took him to some of the game's biggest stages.
No! Yo! Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that Toast with his banana grin. Oh!
Faded.
Wow! Not created from Cabal Courier, and it's straight up in Toast deck. And that is how you know Show is not a disguised Toast sub.
By 2017, Hearthstone's popularity started waning though, and Toast's habit of living on the edge with his content began to fray his relationship with the game.
Oh my god! It's a monster! Half Mirage Caller, half Murloc Tiny Fin. What have I created?
Toast showed off a harmless bug, but that landed him in serious hot water with Blizzard, which ended up being the beginning of the end of Toast's time playing Hearthstone.
I didn't think it was gonna work like that. When someone told me about it, it was like a bug. It was like, oh, let me test this bug out. And when it worked, I'm like, pretty sure this isn't supposed to be allowed. So I did it a few more times on stream. And obviously that's not in fair spirit. And Blizzard kind of messaged me. It's like, hey, I know your thing is to test out these bugs and test out these exploits, but we can't have you cheating games publicly in front of 10,000 viewers. So they handed me suspension from the game.
Suddenly, Toast realized he needed some other outlet or game for his talents, so he took his biggest risk since leaving the mask behind.
So how much of a risk was it then for Toast to realize that at some point he'd have to leave Hearthstone?
Yeah, I mean, Twitch always has a meta, right? That's the way it works. Hearthstone was on its way out in 2017, and if you wanted to be a popular live streamer, you just had to be playing Battle Royales.
Yeah, I'll be honest though.
Yeah, like Fortnite,
Toast never
PUBG
really
and shit.
struck me as a sort of Battle Royale maven.
I mean, I guess you could say that.
Hey Google, play Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell by AC/DC. Sure. Playing on Spotify.
Seriously though, Toast's vibe, it's not exactly like other streamers, especially at the time. Back then, if someone was really popular on Twitch, they were most likely really, really good at a very popular game. Toast is not
True.
an FPS star. He's not a league star. He's not a phenom at any of these games. So he had to find his own lane.
While Toast continued to make Hearthstone stuff on his own YouTube channel, he also began to take himself out of his own comfort zone. Most notably when he joined Offline TV, a content creation house with huge names like Pokimane, Lily Pichu, and Skara.
Alright guys, I'm proud to announce our newest offline TV house member, Disguised Toast.
Was Crypt not available?
Isn't he like a Hearthstone streamer? Wait, what's Hearthstone?
Honestly, I think they really like me.
Toast was doing well. Even as Hearthstone continued its downward trend in popularity, he was able to produce other kinds of videos, and his endearing, awkward style was more popular than ever.
This is a weird looking dildo. Lily, that heat's way too low.
No, it's not.
And you did not use enough oil.
Stop it! You're being so mean.
Can you guys imagine if boners were on our ears? Like, oh, how they... Like, one's like, you're kind of attracted, but two's like, you're really attracted.
Oh my god. He did still have one foot in the world
Bruh.
of Hearthstone, but he'd soon get the opportunity to change a lot about his channel.
So, paint me a picture. What was the streaming landscape like in 2019?
For sure. I mean, obviously right now we've got XQC signing with Kick for like $100 million. But for my money, all this stuff that's happening now started back then. You have Ninja and Shroud signing with Microsoft and Mixer. YouTube is like trying to get people to stream live on their platform. Then you have the Twitch side of things where they're trying to put up the wall and make sure that nobody else leaves.
But then Toast had his own kind of unique opportunity as well.
Yeah, funnily enough on Facebook, which is not exactly where everyone expected someone like him to land. But the next challenge was, how do you take this audience you have that's embedded on Twitch and move them over to another platform? Which sounds easy enough, but in practice, it's quite a challenge.
Now, moving to a brand new streaming platform was a pretty obvious risk for Toast. But he'd made his career on taking risks. So why not add another gamble to the mix? Toast left Hearthstone behind and picked up a new game, Teamfight Tactics.
Yeah, he's
Toast
really
brought
good
his
at it.
same love of high-level play, weird interactions, and testing limits to TFT. And almost immediately, his approach to the game brought him success, in some ways far beyond what he had achieved in Hearthstone.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that he's like a TFT esports streamer.
Oh no. Oh no, you can't do him like that. No, you can't out them all into the cannon out and then the Morg with the finisher. He's unstoppable, gents. Oh, there he goes again. Oh, that one more. Damn. All right, 4v1. I like these odds. Wait.
Fully freeing himself from Hearthstone also put him in a great position to benefit from another trend that was lurking suspiciously just around the corner.
If Toast wins, he's
You're gonna
the biggest brain gamer I've ever seen. There's never been double kills.
There's been 2 sets of double kills.
He big brained you so hard, man.
All right, if he did, then he deserves it. He deserves it.
Say
He
hi,
deserves-
YouTube.
yeah.
He
I'm so sorry, Scissors. I'm so sorry.
Guys, can we Photoshop some strings?
I'm so sorry.
Toast became the biggest-brained, highest-IQ Among Us player out there, and it led to him getting a chance to play in the most famous Among Us stream of all time.
Actually, maybe I'll marinate AOC. I'm gonna gain her trust. Don't worry, I bring you protection.
Toast has been following me around this whole game.
Yeah, I'm protecting you this time, I swear.
No,
I swear.
no.
His move away from Twitch was, at least at the time, a success. He had proven that he was able to hack it on his own on what was frankly still an emerging platform. But that didn't mean he didn't think about how much better it might have been on Twitch, though.
I really wished that I was on Twitch when Among Us popped off. Now, I don't regret signing with Facebook at all. I think at the time it was still the right choice, but I wish I was on Twitch because it was the biggest game in the world and I was the biggest content creator for it, streaming-wise.
Toast's success meant opportunities, ones he might not have otherwise had. He was still a part of offline TV, and he even managed to eventually repair his relationship with Blizzard. Once Toast's contract with Facebook ended, he made his way back to Twitch, and his profile grew even more. He was increasingly a staple member of ensemble streams featuring both popular and up-and-coming streamers. But there was a new trend on the horizon, and instead of streamers getting paid, they were the ones doing the paying.
Oh yeah, this when he started his disguise.
So these days, we see a lot of overlap between the streaming world and the esports world, but that wasn't always the case. So can you talk me through how this trend began?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts primarily with Moist Critical. He decides he wants to start an esports org, which is called Moist Esports. He gets into smaller games like Smash and Rocket League, and then he partners up with Ludwig. They put out that video on Twitter of them like burning cash, and then they make a Valorant team. I think the concept is pretty simple, but also kind of complicated at the same time. You know, the idea here is that you're going to ingratiate an audience to a roster using the fact that you're a massive content creator. You're going to watch the games with them. You're going to maybe interview your players, make some YouTube and Twitch content with them. And hopefully that allows you to, you know, turn a profit on a roster. The fact is, though, you do have to turn that profit.
It's tough, but you can see the appeal, though, for these streamers. They are probably esports fans themselves. They look at these esports rosters and they must think to themselves, how can I get involved in this?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, for the most part, it's a pretty grassroots thing, right? Like, we're all sitting here trying to figure out how to solve the esports puzzle, how these teams can make money, and they see this as their way in, right? There are players available, they can get involved in big games. And in typical Toast fashion, this was a big risk. Like, massive organizations can't figure this shit out. So he's taking on a huge financial burden by even trying this.
Toast entered the world of competitive Valorant with the launch of Disguised in late 2022, signing a roster for the Challengers Open qualifier after consulting with CSGO legend Fifth Laren.
What made me say yes to working with Jeremy on this project to begin with was honestly that I felt that he was into it, he was passionate.
And Disguised did end up qualifying.
Holding on from behind that aftershock, and now Scuba in a 1v1. Does he have any idea that there's a man back?
Yes!
Has no idea! Disguised Toast has made it to Challengers.
I rate it.
Oh, you guys.
The redemption arc of Steel has only
so
just begun.
But Toast wasn't done. He shelled out big money to sign Ye, considered the best Valorant player of 2022, to turn DSG from just another streamer team into a real contender. Picking up Ye seemed like a no-brainer. One of the most popular players out there was sure to bring more eyes to the team at the very least. But DSG's Challengers run didn't pan out, at least for now.
The lockdown is done for! Pure catches one! Clear with an angle! Can he actually take away Blackheart? Blackheart defusing! And the dream for Disguised is over!
We went 0-11 in our last 11 matches. We did so bad that we got kicked out of the Challenger League, and we would have to re-qualify next year. So it's gonna be a sad one.
DSG also signed a League of Legends Challenger roster, but Toast learned very quickly that the entire thing was going to cost a lot.
So what I've been doing is I've been working a little harder on my own stuff. I've been taking the most sponsors I've ever taken in my career, because every sponsor is like being able to pay for one more player's, salary for the month, right?
So he decided to open a Patreon that would cover the organization's costs. Not only that, but he's giving his patrons behind the scenes access to his analysis of the esports industry and a look at Disguised's next moves.
If we are asking for, fan support, then it is really imperative that we are transparent with how that money is spent, how that we have
that
to be
is very, very
cool. Now, it would be easy to criticize Toast for founding his own esports team. He started out his career as an entertainer, not a businessman. He should be out of his depth, and the early results do seem to back that up. But from day one, Disguised Toast has made his name on doing what no one expected him to do. If there's anyone who could help find a different path for the esports industry, if there's anyone who knows how to trailblaze and blend both entertainment and content, it's Disguised Toast. Because when it comes to taking a big risk while betting on himself, he's done it before, and he seems hell-bent on doing it once again.
Yeah, I rate it.
Thanks.
I rate it.